And welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine.
Hello, everybody. Glad to hear today.
We are so thrilled to have you here. Excited to see you in the chat. Come on out and let us know where in the world you are. We are today going to be talking about a feature inside of AttractWell that you might not know about. This is one of those really useful things that are just hiding in plain sight. Have you ever encountered something like that? There's this sort of trend that's been going around for a few years now. I was today years old when I found out something that you were just like bonkers, like I had no idea about this and it's been in front of me forever. Have you experienced that before? For me, it was the hole in a pasta spoon strainer thing where like you can get like one serving of pasta in the hole. What was yours? Did you have oh my gosh, it's for that? You can do that? Today, we're going to talk about how you can use a feature that has been hiding on your contacts cards in your AttractWell Contact Manager to help you do some pretty powerful things to make you more effective in your business, whether it be in the growth of your business or the implementation of what you do. So we are thrilled again to have you here today. If you're new to AttractWell, welcome. We're here every single Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And this is a session that's really designed to help you get into action in your business. We do teach something a little bit new and different every week just to keep things fresh, but this is really an opportunity for you to engage here, for you to ask questions. We can even share screens together. We can work on projects that you are working on. Really what we're doing here is to create an opportunity for you to grow and get unstuck. So if there's anything that you are interested in chatting with, working with us on, please make sure you get into the Q&A, because after we go through some brief slides and a demo, we are wide open to work with you on whatever it is you've got going on. So again, welcome. Thrilled to have you here this week. We're going to go ahead and hop out of video and into slides so that we've got some good quality here for our replay on our YouTube channel, which, by the way, if you aren't already subscribed, please make sure you head over and do that. We are youtube.com/AttractWell. So here on AttractWell Office Hours today, we're going to be sharing how we can share and track metrics and collaborate with our clients using this simple but really effective tool inside of AttractWell called the Progress Tracker. So we're going to be talking about how we can make sure that we're on top of what we need to do and how we can help make sure that we are on top of helping our clients get what they want using this here today. So as promised, we're going to get into talking about the Progress Tracker, how you can then use it to get more clients, get more sales, land more contracts, and of course, get better outcomes for your clients. And then, of course, as always, we have live help and Q&A on this call. So please make sure that you add any questions that you have if you need help with something into the Q&A so that we don't miss it. Again, we do have the opportunity to respond live to you and work with you here. So do take advantage of that, but make sure it goes into the Q&A because we can get a little busy here in the chat. And if you want to work together, if you want to have dedicated space, maybe you feel like your question or what it is that you need to work on requires a bit more hands-on help or a bit more perspective than you might be able to cover in just a couple of minutes. You could hop on this call. Reach out to us, attractwell.com/work review. You can actually sign up for either a portion of a live call or get in touch. We could maybe work out an entire session here. And of course, you would be able to learn and grow, and the community would grow as well. And if you'd like to join us, you want to be on one of these live Zoom calls that we host every week, go to attractwell.com/office hours. And that will put you on our list. So you'll be the first to get access to our new resources, and you'll know what we're teaching and sharing every week. And if you need a hand, if you're working on your AttractWell platform, but you want some help, maybe you want some hands-on training to get you to where you want to be. You want someone to build a beautiful website for you, create a funnel for you, build your program, your member area, you name it. attractwell.com/concierge is where you want to go to learn more about our amazing team and how they can help you get things done. Now, quick question for those of us here, maybe hop into the chat or pop a hand up for me. Do you use the Progress Tracker? Is this something that you are currently using? I'm curious to know if this is something that you're using. This is it's kind of hidden. If you don't know about it, you might not have ever heard about it because it seems like such an obvious thing, but we don't always necessarily think about how we use obvious stuff, right? So the progress tracker is something that you're going to find on a contact card. So if you're brand new to AttractWell and you haven't maybe uploaded your list or you don't have any leads on your list just yet, go ahead and just add yourself like I've done here. So create a contact in AttractWell. Just have it be you, and you can play around with this feature if you are just getting started. But in any case, on your contact card, if you scroll down past your contact information, the background info, activity in your system, to-dos, past actions, you're going to find a field called contact progress. And if on this particular contact you have not recorded anything yet, it's going to look like this one over here on the top right-hand corner, the screenshot here. Contact progress with nothing recorded. But if you hit edit, you'll see that some options open up for you that allow you to do some pretty cool stuff. So here's an example of what this can look like. So let's just say you are a wellness or performance coach and you are helping your client to achieve a goal of better sleep, lower stress, maybe weight loss, something like that, right? And you want to track what you're doing on your calls with the client. Well, in this particular case, the metrics that we're tracking here are what are the things that we're talking about on our coaching calls. So if I started with this client in April, then our call that month is going over our initial goals, schedule, and our intake process. We also got an assessment of their current sort of baseline, where they are with their stress levels, their sleep, how often they're working out, and how often they are getting 100% of their ideal water intake, and then of course what time they're going to bed on average. So we're tracking these things. So the second month, our call is focused on really honing in on their daily routine. Now we're checking in on these metrics again, right? Now in June, we're also going in again and adding these metrics. So this is a really powerful way for you to keep track of what's going on with a client, right? And it's a way for you to actually see in real time an improvement on the metrics that matter to them. So this is something you can use internally. Another powerful way you might consider using this on a leads contact might entail how you are following up with them, whether you have sent a proposal, right? Something like that. Now, the cool thing that you can do with this, if you want to go beyond what you are privately keeping track of for your own purposes, you can also make this viewable to your client. So if you check the contact may view in this contact progress tracker, when they are logged into your member area in your AttractWell system and they click my account, they're able to see the same progress that you are entering on their contact progress card. So now not only can you see things improving in real time based on what they're doing with you, they can see it too, and perhaps in the same dashboard that you are using to communicate with them inside of a vault, maybe providing video or other type of content to help support their journeys. And Stacy, to answer your question, yes, you can also collaborate with clients. So if you click on the contact progress that the contact may edit, if you check this box here, then you're going to see if you're logged in, if the client is logged into your member area in your AttractWell website, they click my account, where you see my progress, they can then edit. And so if the client needs to be inputting some of this information, they're able to do the same. And the interface is going to look really just like what you see here. They're able to add a new month, which I would honestly, I would recommend you do this if this is a one-on-one client. You set the metrics, you set the dates, and then you let them go in and make those modifications. Right? And so actually, Mark, what you're seeing here in both of these slides, if you look on the bottom right hand, this is what the client is seeing, bottom right hand side. So this is where they can't edit. So they can see the metric, they see June, they see May, they see April, right? And here they can edit. And when they click to edit, it is going to look very much like what you see on the left hand side here. And I'll show you that here live in real time as well. So there's so many different ways that you can use this. If you want to use it privately and not share it with a client or a contact, in this case, someone who's not yet a client, you can keep track of your prospecting pipeline. So if you want to keep track of times that you have had outreach that you've made to someone, or you've sent out invitations to them, perhaps you followed up for one thing or another, or you're checking in, maybe you've sent out a quote, right? And there are a number of check-ins that go along with that, whatever that might look like. If there are metrics that you want to track, then you can do this here as a function of how you grow your business. Then, of course, working with your clients, you can track their progress through a series of your coaching calls, or if you have a coaching program, this could be the calls that you've held with them. If you have a protocol where they're tracking what they're doing and sharing it with you, or if there are specific metrics that you want to track toward a goal, then that's something that you could put here as well, and that could be shared. And of course, in this sharing and allowing them to edit, you have the ability with whether it be your one-on-one clients, group clients, or even just providing a little value add here for folks who are students of a course where you're not providing one-on-one work with someone. They can even track their own activity, right? You have, of course, the option to collaborate on their contact card, but this is something that they could also just simply do on their own. If you are maybe running a challenge, for instance, where they need to be tracking something on a weekly basis, maybe you want to incentivize how well somebody is implementing things that you're teaching, you can actually go in and check on students who are a part of a challenge inside of one of your vaults, and you can see the progress that they're inputting on their contact card. All right, so let's go and see this in action with some real use cases. And of course, there we will get into our coaching, life help, and Q&A. And Lisa, to answer your question, we absolutely take questions that are not related to today's topic. So please feel free to put those into the Q&A so that we don't miss them. So if we want to, let me see, Marcus, you said, could it be shown somewhere other than the client account section, like a Vault web page? So at this time, the only place that they're going to be able to see this is inside of their account, in the dashboard that they have inside of your vault, right? Inside of your member area, rather. So the reason why I think this is really important is your client could be a member of a multitude of vaults that you have. And so having this show up at the top level kind of gives them that ability to engage with you in a broader sense. But we can definitely take that down as a wish list item to maybe have the option of adding that into an individual vault experience. I do see how that could be helpful. So I'm going to get into screen sharing here in just a second, but what I'd actually love to know from you guys, you can put this into the chat or the Q&A either way. What are some metrics that you track with clients, or that you would be curious to see how you might go about tracking them? And maybe not just with clients, maybe in your sales process. Maybe you are a speaker and you actually have a process of after finding someone who is a point of communication for a particular event that you'd like to speak at, you are maybe sending out some initial emails to them. You are maybe running into this person at a conference here or there, and it's a goal of yours to actually be able to speak at this conference. There are a number of steps you're going to take. You can be logging those things toward your goal. It's not just about your client and tracking things for your client, but if you have a contact with whom you have a goal, you can be tracking those things here as well. All right, so let's go take a quick look at what this looks like on the front and back. Let's see, Adrian, the project progress metrics are static. That's right. This isn't something that's going to add up like a spreadsheet, for instance. It's not going to have that functionality. But you certainly have the ability to go in, or your client has the ability to go in and provide cumulative details. That would be a cool thing to maybe put onto our wish list as well there. Okay, Marcus says, I track meditation, stress levels, daily mantras, time said, gym visits, walks, and cold showers. Oh, those are great. Okay. Yeah, so what you would do here is a couple of ways that you can do this. You can track daily if you want to, but it kind of depends on your client and what the sort of scope of work is that you have with them. So if it's 90 days, they're going to be going in and I would have, if it's a daily thing, I would have them do it, honestly, because that's going to be a lot of input. You could also do weekly, like week of being the timeline. So let me clear this out and I'll show you. So if we'll say, for instance, meditation, and this would be, we'll say number of times meditated or daily meditation this week. How about that? We'll do a weekly check-in, right? So this would be the week of, and if you maybe started with this client last week, this would be the week of June 5th, 2023. And this number, 7 days of the week, they meditated for, right? We'll add that, right? So another one that would be stress levels. Definitely recommend that you, if you are tracking this kind of thing, Marcus, you probably already know this, but if you have some kind of a tool that you are recommending that they use, like a meditation app, or, you know, if you're MyFitnessPal, if you're tracking macros and stuff like that, right? Definitely make sure that you are kind of integrating that into what you're asking for so that you can get a score that is consistently logged in a place where they can actually tally this stuff. But so stress level average, and maybe you're using a measurement, you know, of 1 to 10. The average for this week is 7.2. That's a number. We'll put, you have a monthly stress test. Perfect. Daily mantras, time said, gym visits. We'll put gym, that's an easy one. Gym visits. Let's spell that correctly. Weekly gym visits, maybe we went 4 times. We're doing great with the gym. Let's see, we're doing daily walks, right? Again, this is a number. We did that 5 times that week. We'll go ahead. Let's give daily mantras. If we're measuring on an average per week basis, let's just say, did you say your mantra every day this week? And maybe I only did that 6 times, right? And then cold showers. And then, you know, how many, of course, oh, you see what happened here? That's text. I need to fix that. Let's put daily mantras in here. All right, I did that 6 times. That is a number. Perfect. And then, and that was, the other one was cold showers. And so I don't love them. I did 4 of them. Congratulations to me. Okay, so I did that. Do make sure that that where you're including metrics, that you do definitely have some of the outcomes tied here. And I think that because, Marcus, you have a stress score, that's going to be really helpful because they're going to be able to start to see this number change as these numbers change as well, right? They'll start to see that correlation. So if we go ahead and we create for this week, that's going to be the week of June 12th. We'll add that, and then we can go in and add these. And so if you are working with them over the course of 6 weeks, you could just go ahead and add these. Maybe you actually started working with them earlier. Let me show you a feature here real quick. If maybe you actually started working with them the week of the 29th of May, but you haven't put that in here yet, there is a way to move them. So week of May, May 29th. I'm going to add this, and there's this arrow right here. We're going to move them over, right? So that we have them chronological, right? Now, this isn't the only way to set this up. It is definitely for like tracking metrics toward a goal in the coaching space. It's definitely my favorite kind of configuration, but there are obviously different ways that you could do this. So if we hit save here, and let's just say we actually want the client to add in some of theirs, we're going to go ahead and add some. We're going to add for next week, let's say. So that's going to be the week of the 19th, and the following one, the week of the 26th. And we'll add another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, So if we can go ahead and just add these, that's going to give the client the ability to actually see what they need to go in and edit. So if let me refresh this here. Here we go. When they go to edit, they can actually go in and they can make these changes here, right? So yeah, using text for metrics would be like yeses and nos. If they're using products, if maybe you're tracking supplementation or something like that, and alongside some metrics, then instead of using a numerical value, you would use a list of, here, I'll actually show you an example here. So vitamins, or we'll say supplements taken. And so this week we took NAC and we took B6 and collagen, right? So we'll add that and save it. And then they'll be able to put word-based inputs in here as well, right? So you can actually see how it shows up a little bit differently. And they can go in and make those edits similarly. What was the highest source of stress this week? Absolutely, that is something you could put here. So highest source of stress this week. And here we can say work, and here we can say family, and here we can say commute, or whatever you want to say. So we're going to hit add there, and we're going to save this so they can actually see this. And so if they update, the refresh happens here, and then you can actually see those changes as well. So it becomes a collaborative thing that you can do. And you can reorder the columns and move them around. You don't have to have the earliest date on the left. You can move them. But as you add, you will have to move that one the furthest away. So the most recent is going to be the one that's closest to the actual list of metrics by default. You could do 2 columns, June target and June actual. Yes, absolutely. I mean, you could also put the metrics up here. And then, there's a lot that you could do here. Definitely play around with it, maybe in your own contact card, right? So okay, let's see. What is the difference between using the digital upline coach for our systems? So Melanie, the digital upline coach is specifically for network marketers, for one. So if you're a network marketer, then you're going to love this. It's basically calibrated to give you suggestions of the types of business building activities that you ought to be focusing on as a network marketer. And so that's going to be more suggestive of activities, whereas this is where you can track specific steps that you've taken. So let's just say, for instance, that you have a new customer on your product. If you're a network marketer or direct salesperson, you've got a new customer on your product, and you want to make sure that you know what products they're taking, because not all VOs are going to tell you what their auto ship order looks like, right? So you're going to maybe make a note of what product they used, and then whatever their goal metrics are that go alongside that product. So then they're able to see, I use this product, so my sleep looked like this, but now it looks like this because it's been 30 days, and this is the thing. Here's everything I've been tracking, and this is the thing I've been doing different, right? So that's the kind of thing you're going to do with this. And I don't have it enabled on this particular account, but the digital upline coach is really just going to be there more to help you focus on your income producing activities as a direct salesperson. I hope that helps answer that question. Okay, what else? Diana says, I am struggling with getting some leads. I've already made my website and lead magnet. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Diana, I would love to bring you out and chat here in just a minute. Let me see, Lisa, that's another great addition to our wish list for this, is the ability to download these metrics, like a report of these. That's going to go for sure on here. All right, you also asked, how do I change the button color on the membership area? Can the Vault homepage be customized? For example, can I add subheadings between the content? So let me go ahead and show you that here real quick while I'm still logged into this test account. And then Diana, I want to definitely get in and chat with you about what you're working on. So, so Lisa, if you want to change the button color in the member area, you're going to go over here to your fonts and colors and fonts under website. And at the bottom of the page here, you can actually control these buttons. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the one that corresponds with the member area. Basically, what I recommend doing once you have, if you already have your brand established, go ahead and set all of these up as your preset, right? So put all your brand colors in here, get your fonts in place, and then change all of these buttons. And then, of course, what you're going to see, because some of these are used in multiple places on the site, like this blue, for instance, is on the forms by default. So like on pages, and you can, obviously you can change those on pages. But yeah, I'm almost positive that this amber one is the one that is in the member area, but I'm not 100% certain. So yeah, you can fool around with these. I would just change all of these to your palette, and then you can go in and modify the ones that you want to get the member area looking the way that you want it to. Okay, it's not amber, then it's probably this one, I think, because if I go into, actually, no, wait, I can show you. Oh, it's this one. So it is, I created this one here. So it is the second one. I don't know what it's called. It's the second one over from the left on the third row. This is the one you want to change for your member area. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Got you. Lisa, this is the one. Third one down, second one over. You've got it. Okay, so awesome. You guys keep the questions coming. Obviously, if you want to see anything more with the progress tracker, happy to show and share. But if you have other questions, we can talk about that too. Oh yeah, and you had a second question, Lisa, about actually modifying the look of the dashboard of the member area. So what you can do there is if you go to your member area, and I believe it's under setup, I think. All right, so this is going to be the title, like this right here. It's going to be a similar format to this, right? It's not a page, so there's not a ton of modification that you can do, but you can choose whether or not you have a background and what goes here. You can choose this image, whether you have it, where it's placed, right? You can put all kinds of stuff here. I mean, you can format this top part very much like a web page if you'd like to some extent. You could put videos up here, and that is going to be under your personalization options. This is the login page, but this is the dashboard message. So you do have the ability to modify here and put more content into this section. Okay, so can an introduction to a category be added that they don't have to click into? I'm not sure that I understand what you mean by that. So if they're in an online class, are you talking about inside of an online class? So if we're like, here, we'll check this guy out right here. Okay, so if you're inside of an online class, we do have categories, right? And the categories, they don't have to click into. That's actually what these are. So it's just really the label for the content that follows. And what that looks like, if we go to the online classes here, what that looks like is it's just simply one of the, you would like a description below the title. Oh, got you. So basically you're saying like you would want to have something underneath this with a little, the option to add a little bit more verbiage to this section here. That makes sense. That would be, Greg, is there a way to do that, or are we wish listing?
There isn't a way to do that there. I mean, there is the about this vault, and I think the class, I was just looking to see if the class had that, like the class description field that is there. Yeah, there's this about this class that appears actually on the side. So
Right.
you can, at like the vault level, you can describe a bit more, and that appears above the vault contents, and on the class, you can also describe that, like that about on the right has that bit there. It doesn't appear above it, but it appears to the side. That is
Right.
customizable, but it isn't
Yeah.
like below the subheader. There's no way to expand on that further.
Right. What
there.
you could do inside of these lessons, right? And this isn't exactly what you're talking about here, but if you wanted to go, so this category is called Navigating Your Virtual Office. We could call it Navigating Your Virtual Office. And do one of these little bar things, and then how to ... if it's a short description, in which case everything would be up here, right? It would, but there wouldn't be a change in the formatting between those things. What I've seen done, and what I actually like to do quite often, is to have like an overview lesson inside of each module where we kind of give a description of what's coming. I often do that in video format. But you could just simply have that written as well. But yeah, we don't currently have the capacity to have that sort of multi, like kind of broken text situation there to have a description underneath the title. But that is definitely feedback that we appreciate and we'll put into our wish list for a capability here. And I think there was, let's see. I think that was it. Okay. Does the progress tracker have to be assigned to a client? Adrian asked. Could I use it to track my CEO related efforts and metrics, for example? Yes, you can. Just put it on your own contact card. So if you're tracking some of your own goals, personal goals that aren't connected to another individual, contact entity in your contact manager, then you could actually create that progress tracker for yourself, for sure. Yeah, at least I definitely agree. And I think that that would be an improvement for sure on the ultimate end user experience, like for your clients, to have that there. That would be great. We do have, yes, we do have, we actually have someone on our team who is super into gamification and a lot of great stuff in the pipeline and on our wish list along those lines. Thank you for all of your great questions. Okay, Diana, I'm going to bring you out in just a moment. I want to answer a couple of quick questions here. Can you link an outside website to all the funnels? Okay. Stacy, if you don't mind, I'd like to bring you out to chat as well. If you just let me know in the chat, if that's okay, I'd like to talk through that with you. Let's see, Marcus says, I normally set agreed actions at the end of a one-on-one coaching call, currently using a shared to-do list. The client ticks off when complete. Do you have any suggestions on how to do this in AttractWell? So if the to-do list is going to be the same every time, if the sort of I did this is the same every time, you could use a page with a form on it, which you could actually employ automations if the client fills that out, and certain things can happen. Maybe they're then rerouted to book their next call with you or something like that. You could use it as sort of like a pre-call intake form. That is one thing that you could do. But another, if you are tracking metrics, if it matters that you're able to see what you're tracking over time, I would use the progress tracker that we talked about today. Let's see. Okay, Diana, I would love to bring you out to chat. All right, let me stop my share here for a second because I'm going to need to get into your account. Okay, I'm going to find you and allow you to talk. There we go. Thanks for coming out today. You can unmute. Can you hear me, Diana?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. How's it going?
Fine. How are you guys?
Doing great, doing great. So yeah, tell me about what you would like to take a look at.
Okay, so I have already made my website and the landing page. Would you like me to share with you the link, maybe something like that?
Is it your homepage? This?
Yes. And I like you guys. You have a lot of the templates and colors. That made me so happy.
Oh, it makes me happy to see this. It's beautiful. You've done a really great job.
Yes. So I'm really struggling on how to generate some leads, and I think I need some more training on how to close the leads.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So my number one recommendation is going to
Yes.
be to go down here to your account settings.
Okay, settings.
And then this AttractWell Launch Challenge.
Okay.
This is something that you get access to as a member of our community. So click sign up, and that's for free. It's going to add you to a program that I created that actually goes from start to finish. And I talk a lot about lead generation and different types of funnels that you can use there. But obviously, I don't want to just direct you off to that place to go down some training rabbit holes. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing to expose yourself and what you do to your ideal clients?
Okay, so by profession, I'm a travel consultant. Have been in the industry for more than 12 years now. And I decided to make this coaching program special for people who they like to travel and they don't know how to turn that passion to business. So only teaching them on luxury travel, because that's my niche. I've been working with only high-end customers. So I teach them from scratch how to open the company, how to start, how to sell, how to find the customers and everything. So when they finish my program, it's a hands-on program. So when they're in the program, they can start working on their companies. And also when they finish, they can be able to sell.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so are you creating content? So like on social media, blog, podcasts, anything like that?
Yes, so I'm very good on social media, but I'm a little bit stuck on how I can I can generate content specifically for the program. But when you go on my social media, because I've been a travel agent for 12 years, I'm only posting about destinations and those kind of things. So I tried even to post that lead magnet I had and sponsoring it on ad, like this one, exclusive guide, free guide. And then, yeah, but I didn't see like it. I don't know. Maybe I need a plan for social media.
So I think that it might be helpful, and I find in cases like this, it's often most helpful to turn to the people that you've already helped and
Yes.
And have conversations with them, and even go back and kind of look at what they were looking for when they found you. What problems were they looking to solve? What were they trying to, Google, find solutions for? And figure out how they were articulating those problems, because how they talk about those problems will tell you what content you need to create to attract more of them. Right?
Yes, yes.
So if these are people who are wanting to start a side business, right? Now, obviously, we want to narrow down. I want a side business, but I'm also somebody who maybe they don't think luxury travel, because if they want, maybe that's an aspiration of theirs, right?
Yes.
But they don't yet think of themselves at that level, perhaps because they're trying to start a side business and get out of maybe the job that they're in, right? If that might be part of what your person might look like, they are probably going to respond better to something that is, five steps to, exit your job, right?
Yes.
With a new business, right? And so in that way, you're focusing more. And again, I'm just speculating here. It really needs to be based on what they're saying their problems are. But if they're looking for ways to make money, then you need to be making content about ways to make money, right? And then you could say, by the way, I help people start luxury travel businesses. If you'd like to learn more, I have a guide, right? And I think that what we're trying to do here is you've baked the cake, and you even have a place where somebody can show up and get a free slice. But what we need to do next is waft the smell bread the crumbs,
Mhm.
you know?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. And then you want to be looking as well, maybe for people who are already being listened to by your ideal people, right? So maybe what
Mhm.
podcast, and this is again where you want to go to your existing clients, what podcasts do you follow? What blogs are you reading? What email
Mhm.
lists are you on? And maybe see if there's
Mhm.
an opportunity for you to be a guest, a guest blogger on that platform if that person has a big list or that entity has a
Yes.
big list. You could publish in a magazine, you could speak at a conference, you could be a guest host on a podcast, right?
Mhm.
But look for ways, because now you have the beautiful thing to point to that shows that you know what you're talking about. And you've done that with your website and you've got a good social media following. Now you basically just need to find more ways to get in front of more targeted groups of people. And content is going to be
Mhm.
one of those important pieces, right? The sort of wafting of the smell of that cake you baked, or spreading out some crumbs for people to follow. But the
Mhm.
other piece is maybe, going where people are hungry, right? And
Yes.
finding ways to place yourself in front of them.
Oh, that's so helpful.
Oh, I'm so
And
glad.
I was trying to think now about the podcasts in our industry so that I can ask to go there as a guest. But my question, I think I'm on dilemma. Like, I don't know if I need to work on organic marketing first, or I better start doing paying ads to generate
Hmm.
traffic on my site. So I'm kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. So it is a little bit of a chicken or the egg conversation. And if you have a budget for it and you have, um, if you're hiring someone who knows what they're doing, it's really easy to waste a lot of money on ads, like on Facebook, for instance, if you don't know what you're doing well. If you want to learn how
Yes.
to do it well, then obviously there are great people to follow that teach this stuff. But if you have the budget to hire somebody that knows what they're doing, you can tell them that you want to start testing audiences, like low budget ads to test audiences on offers. You want to probably have more than one lead magnet because you want to be able to kind of test what works better,
Yes.
right? I would
Yes.
go in with 2 lead magnets, and I would go in with an idea of several different ways you might approach offering those lead magnets to people so that you can really, again, test the language that you're using to make sure if you're working with someone who knows what they're doing, then they'll obviously know how to set something like that up. What I often recommend, though, I do work with a lot of folks who are more like they're working with a smaller budget to start and maybe aren't quite ready to pay someone to run advertising. I really love the idea of networking with people who are already serving your people and testing your offers there. Because if you can get in front
Yes.
of their audience with an offer and see how well it
Yes.
converts, if it converts really well there and you have an idea of who those people are, you can take that
Yes.
information to paid ads and then do really well with paid ads.
Oh, that makes sense. Absolutely. Yes.
Good.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's so helpful. So I better go to the podcast and some interviews with these kind of people and see if no one responding, it means I need to change my offer before I start running paid ads. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I would just have an additional one so that you can compare the two and see which offer is maybe resonating better. And I would just
Mhm.
focus the majority of your efforts on kind of pay it forward with people, like maybe reach out to somebody who you believe is actually serving the people that you want to be getting in front of, and maybe offer for them to do some, for you to promote them in some way. Quite often, if you pay it forward first, the reciprocation
Yeah.
is going to follow, right? So if you can say,
Yes.
can I interview you? Right? Then if they have a podcast, maybe they'll
Oh,
do the same.
yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. That
Of
makes
course.
sense. Of course, instead of me only asking to be interviewed, I better also ask to interview them through our YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel and the Instagram page. I don't have yet the podcast. And also I have some people who I know they are travelers, they are influencers, like they travel, but they are not travel agents. So I
Mm.
don't know how to approach them. Like, do I need to ask them to post my advert, or I don't know how to how to work with
Yeah.
these influencers?
So here's an idea. I start with what's in it for them. So what they would probably want is to have more followers, right? To have more visibility,
Yes.
because that means that they're going to get better partnerships and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
So then maybe you go to them and you say, I'm curating content for my, for my subscribers and my followers. I see you travel all the time. Would you like to maybe create a little content for me to share with my people that talks about your favorite tips for packing or traveling or something like that? And so you're going to them and saying, hey, I'd like to feature you, right?
Yes, yes.
And you're not trying to ask them to pay for anything or anything like that, but you're opening the door to collaboration there. And majority of the time, most people are good, right? And they want to know, okay, well,
Yes.
you came to me saying, I want to do this for you. Their reaction is going to be, well, what can I do for you, right? How can I help Diana now? So you're gonna probably find that you'll make some friends in this way. Maybe look for people who also just have shared values and interests with you and your people, because your person that you're serving isn't just like a cardboard cutout of somebody who likes luxury travel. They have values that you do, right? They're looking for certain things in travel, and sure, maybe it's a higher end experience, but there are other things, right? There's a flavor to it that you all enjoy. And so, look for people who have that same kind of vibe that you do and that your people are into, and yeah, seek out those sort of professional partnerships, and of course you can mutually benefit in that way. And they don't do the same thing that you do, right? They profit in a different way, and so you're able to help each other.
Yes, absolutely. That makes sense. Thank you so much. That's so helpful. I was confused. I didn't know, do I need to start paying ads? Do I need to do organic marketing first? So thank you so much.
Absolutely. So glad we could help. I hope you'll come out again and we can see how things are going for you.
Yes, I'll keep on updating you guys. I'm going to make my plan for social media and for some featuring like with other influencers. Then I'll keep updating you.
Beautiful. All right. Well, congrats on your beautiful website. We look forward to catching up, Diana.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, Stacy, I would like to bring you out because you had a bunch of questions that I don't want to miss any of. If you are still here, let me find you. There you are. Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can, yes. All right, so your first question was about linking to an outside website for the funnels. Can you tell me a little bit about what you have in mind and what you're trying to create so I can give you a good answer here?
Yes, absolutely. And a shout out to Greg. He's been giving me some answers in the chat. So thank you, Greg. Okay, so my first question is, I already have this existing website. And so can I link all my AttractWell stuff to that website? Landing pages, calendar that I still need to get, all the stuff. Can it all be attached to that or connected to? Okay.
In so much as you would be linking off to your AttractWell site from that other website. Yeah. So long as all of the forms are on AttractWell and you're just linking to those pages, you can do that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then Greg sent me a link. So currently there's nothing at AttractWell that's like Calendly or TidyCal or any of that, but that can be synced, correct?
Yes and no. We actually have a training on our YouTube channel that goes over this. Essentially what you're doing is you are taking, so I assume with your Calendly or something like that you're using, you're probably using that to put people on a Zoom call with you. Is that right?
That would be a great idea when I get to that point of my business, but yes, that's the idea at some point.
Yeah. So I've actually walked through this in a training, but the Cliff's Notes is this: you're going to create a recurring event in Zoom on AttractWell, and that's going to become your event location, right? So the join link for that is the event location. And then in your Calendly or whatever it is that you're using, you're going to set that up that way. I'll actually go in and show you how I have mine set up, just so you can see. That's Canva, not Calendly.
Awesome. And while you're on this search, while you're searching for that, do we get a separate Zoom account like outside of AttractWell, or is that something that's linked or included, or how does that work? And sorry if these are repeat for.
That's okay. That's okay. It's so it's just it's the built-in Zoom here. So when you click Zoom meetings here, this is what's included. So it's not like log into Zoom separately. So and let me actually get into, not in Diana's account, sorry. Let's get into Jane's account. Perfect. So yeah, so what you would do here is you would set up a recurring event in Zoom meetings, and so strategy call, recurring anytime. You can set your preferences here for enable waiting room, you know, mute participants on entry, automatically start video, etc. You can do all of that. But the location for this call is going to be this one, copy link. This is what you would send to the person who books with you. So you're going to go into Calendly, and this is the call with Jane. This is the event that was set up. So it's 30-minute strategy call. And so, you know, you set it up just like you normally would, except here in the location, when you scroll down, you're going to go to custom, you paste in that link, and you display after confirmation. You do everything else that you would normally do. And then once it's ready, you're going to go to share, add to website, inline embed. And then you're actually going to be able to just pop this right into a page in AttractWell. And you do have the ability as well, if you have like a paid version of Calendly, you can make this a seamless on-site experience. Like they don't leave your website and go to Calendly, for instance. If you have if you create like a call confirmation page, and you make that the redirect after they've booked. So this is the code that you would use to embed. And again, I'm going through this fast. We do have a training on this. That you could watch and pause and everything. But the confirmation page setting here, you could actually, if you have a paid version of Calendly, you could redirect to an external site, and that's where you would put in your AttractWell call confirmation page. And so in this way, the client experience is such that it looks completely seamless, like it's 100% on your AttractWell website. You're going to get them on your calendar. And then one of the things that I teach in that training is also how you would maybe put a form before this booking where you would ask questions, right? Like, what are you struggling with? What are you looking for help with? What's your budget? Whatever your sort of pre-call questions are, you would do that. Then they get this page with the form on it. And then of course they get that redirect to a page that's still on your website. So they never leave your website. So that is something that you can set up here.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And so that
That's
way,
awesome. Okay.
You're not going to have like the data of like the date and time of the call, for instance, in your AttractWell account, because that is a Calendly thing and it's not a true integration. But they would, like, you would have all of their pre-call information. And then of course, everything that you have connected to your Calendly or whatever your booker is going to be on your schedule and your email, etc.
Okay. And then thank you for that. And then the last question is kind of go with me on this. So as kind of a newbie to not the coaching world, I've coached on site for forever and ever and ever, but for the online world where I'm wanting to integrate the course, my signature course program with weekly coaching, I mean, like the whole kit and caboodle, do you offer, and Greg kind of sent me a link on the concierge and I filled that out online, but is there so there's so many coaching programs out there to help you get started on business, right? So because this is AttractWell and it's the whole system, right? Is there somebody at the concierge that kind of holds your hand, not kind of, definitely holds your hand from start to finish, from the moment you link your website to putting your courses into all, because I have my courses in a different site. So I'm trying to just have like a one-stop shop as much as possible. Mm-hmm. So is there somebody that helps create your landing pages, helps create your funnels, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, like the whole thing?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And it can be custom quoted for you. You could do this in chunks and pieces. It could be that you have weekly calls and they're kind of coaching you through implementation. And then maybe there's a little like, build this for me here, build this for me there. Absolutely. So if you go to attractwell.com/concierge, that's 100% something that our team can help you with for sure.
That is awesome. Okay. Thank you so much for all those answers, both of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Happy to help. All right, Adrian, let me know if that walkthrough that I just gave of the Calendly there is, if that answered your question, because I see you also asked how clients can book calls with you. incorporating your booking link. So that's how you would embed the actual booking mechanism from like a Calendly or a similar platform onto a page in AttractWell, as opposed to just sending a Calendly link, right? It's cleaner, it looks nicer if you just send them to a page on your website, right? And so that's how you would go about doing that. Great questions, everybody. All right, Marcus says, I think I saw something about running more than one brand through AttractWell. How does this work? I have 3 brands. Are you available to come out and chat, Marcus? If so, just lift your hand up and I will bring you out. We could talk through the sort of intricacies of that, because the answer is yes, but so we need to figure out what else we got going on here. Hi, thanks for coming out.
Hey, good evening. Well, it's good evening to me anyway, so good afternoon to you guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I'm loving this, by the way. I've been looking for something like AttractWell for nearly 5 years, so thanks for taking a few pain points away from me. It's brilliant. Yeah, I run 3 brands. We've got the kind of the Mindset Revolution, which is called the corporate coaching. We have Ciola, which is much more spiritual based and kind of a different style of brand. And then we have Udisi, which is kind of CEO leadership. They're all essentially the same products. They're the same solutions. They're just branded in a slightly different way to appeal to the target market. I have 3 URLs, but the content and the delivery, apart from the branding, is different. It would be fabulous to have them all in one system like this, if that's possible.
Yeah, so at this point, you can only connect one URL to your AttractWell site, in that, like, when a page shows up, it is AttractWell or it's your page that is like inside of AttractWell.
Yep.
But you do have, if you're branding a product, for instance, you do have the ability to, go into your domain management and have, that URL forwarding turned on, right? So just as an example, if you have an umbrella brand of a personal brand, let's just say if it was Marcus Tomlinson, and people are following you, they're following your content, they're following, you as a brand and your expertise, because this is all kind of one thing, then you could have product Ciola, product Mindset Revolution, et cetera, right? Where they would have their own sort of, you go through these funnels if this is you, right? The way, like, if your prerogative is to simplify and to have everything in one place, then it is going to be important to have an umbrella brand. We have a training, I think, on our YouTube channel. We definitely do. I don't recall specifically which one it is at the moment, Greg, if you know. But more or less what I get into in that training is that you want to create an umbrella that everyone who is in the pool of potential leads and clients is going to recognize and identify with. So if that's you personally or if it's a corporate entity, then that's going to be the main deal. But then you can provide pathways from there where if you wanted to brand, again, like a product, it could be ciola.com or however you want to set that up, that could forward to a sales page in AttractWell that would still be on the brand umbrella URL, right? But you could be utilizing basically branding through those URL forwarding practices. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
And you could visually brand, those individual pages differently as well, right? So all of your Ciola pages could have like your blues and your certain font and your colors, and all of your DC can be like the purples, or you know what I mean? Like you can create different visual experiences. It's just the main thing to know is that there is one URL that really is applied to your entire AttractWell site. And so there needs to be some care and consideration that goes into what that is if you're going to do it this way.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. At the moment, we have 3 URLs, 3 Microsoft 365 accounts, and it's 3 very distinct offerings. At some point, we're going to go to one. It'll all be Ciola, and that'll be the core offering. But it's going to be like a 12-month transition. So I just wondered. But yeah, just thanks again. You set up my membership and my DNS settings and my subdomains, and I've only paid you $1 so far. I think I should upgrade now before the trial's over. You've been so helpful.
Well, we're thrilled to have you, and definitely look forward to helping you on your journey here. And of course, if you need more help with this moving forward, we do have our concierge team, and you're always welcome to come out and ask questions, following up on this here on this call.
I appreciate that. thank you very much.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your incredible questions. Let's see. Adrian says, can the concierge service or you provide guidance on how to use AttractWell as a coaching agency? Adrian, would you send me an email? I'm Ashley@attractwell.com. I would love to learn a little bit more about how you plan to run your agency. This, if you're open to it, is actually something that I think could really benefit like a full session like this to kind of talk through what that would look like. And whether you're a coaching agency or marketing, if you are an agency of multitude of different kinds, that it might be helpful for that to even be something that's shared, to the extent of course, we can remove your personal stuff if you want. So just shoot me an email and let's talk about that. There's definitely a way to do it. We have teams capacities with, different types of functionality if you want somebody to only be able to access this or that, etc. So there are ways to do it. And we'd of course be happy to help you translate that. So thank you guys again for being here. We'll be back same time next week. And till then, take care and we'll see you then.